So we talked about takeaways. Now, what I want to look at is endurance, resilience, and patience. Because I feel like, okay, this happened. Now I'm enduring, and I have to be resilient and have to be patient. That doesn't mean stagnant, but what are some things that you can utilize or do to endure in scenarios like this, or even endure in the good times when everything works out the way you want it to, or be resilient or more patient?
Yeah, so this idea of the thought of the endurance and the resilience and pushing forward is so important. And I'm humbled by being the student in this situation and learning this lesson because this is a theme that comes up all the time for any job seeker, whether they're my client or not. When we put ourselves out there on a platform where we're essentially saying, look at me and please choose me. As a job seeker, we're saying, look at my qualifications and please choose me for the role. As an entrepreneur and a coach, I'm saying, look at the service that I offer and the value. Please choose me and decide to do business with me. Please let me help you. And so putting ourselves out there in a very vulnerable way, the reality is that rejection is going to show up in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
But reminding myself that a couple of things I like to defer to a couple of sayings. The first one is, and I would say this as a recruiter, and I say this a lot as a coach. The answer isn't necessarily no, it's just not yet. It's not a no because no means stop, and stop means that we don't move forward. The not yet, it leads me to my other saying that I like. The rejection is just a redirection. And what do I do with that redirection? Do I change the way I showed up the first time? Do I fine tune things? Do I make a few improvements? So it's understanding that it's not just a stop and things don't come to a screeching halt. It's understanding that nothing has changed about me. I still have the knowledge. I still have over 20 years of experience. I still have coached over hundreds of clients, and I still have this expertise in an area that people can gain value from. Finding a way to continue to put it out there. And that's one of the things that I share with my clients a lot. Okay, so you didn't get the job and that it wasn't the outcome that you expected, but that doesn't change that you have all of these skills, these qualifications, this value, these solutions that you offer. It's just a matter of let's keep moving forward so we can find the place that does recognize that. And that's what I recognize for myself. And um, that was probably one of the harder lessons to learn in all of this.
Fair enough. You just reminded me of something, and I'm not trying to get philosophical or even spiritual or anything like that, but you reminded me that the seed is the seed, right? Whatever seed that you buy, whatever seed that you get, and that seed has value, depending on how you nurture it. And a lot of times we plant these seeds and then we go outside to the garden and we look out the window. Nope, didn't bear fruit. Nope, didn't bear fruit. Nope, every single day. And then a lot of times we get disheartened by what we don't see above the ground. And we forget that something's taking place under the ground. And you just have to have that patience. And that was one of the things that we led into this section, about that patience is going to bear fruit. It's still this. It still has value once it begins to sprout and bear fruit. But with the resilience that I mentioned, think about how resilient you have to be to endure conditions. The condition could be the market that you're putting yourself into, right? There's all these different variables, all these different peoples, all these different platforms. Resilient in the sense of enduring the storm or the economy or the shutdown or the politics, whatever that might be, and then thinking about how I can be patient in that. I'm still who I am despite anything transpiring outside of me. So you just reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Have that patience and know that you have to be resilient and know that you're gonna have to endure. I am who I am and who I'm not, I'll never be. And I'm not validated by necessarily anything outside of me. Who I am is not contingent upon these factors.
Absolutely.
So what you're doing is amazing. And I see, in a little bit that I've interacted with you, you're resilient, and this is a lesson, and you're going to endure.
Yes.